Hello, and welcome. Today's tutorial is all about how to make custom vacation tourists for your neighborhood. Vacation tourists are the townies that check into hotels alongside your playable Sims. They show up in all vacation neighborhoods. In order to create your own custom vacation tourist, you're going to need 3 mods. Saijon's Fewer Tourists, Saijon's NPC Maker Fix, and the Sim Blender. This is a 3-step process, so let's start with step 1. The first step to creating custom vacation tourists is, of course, to create your Sims. You can create your Sims in Body Shop, create a Sim, or download them. Once you have your Sims in your game, they'll show up in your Families tab in your Household Manager. I'm going to be turning the Traveler family from the Sims 2 Bon Voyage expansion pack into tourists for my own game. As part of creating the household, open up your cheat menu using Ctrl-Shift-C and reduce your tourist family simoleons to 0. You can do this using the Family Funds cheat by typing in Family Funds, space, and then in quotation marks, the household name, for me, that's Traveler, space, the minus sign, and then the amount of simoleons that they have. The Traveler family starts with 60,000 simoleons, so I'm typing in Family Funds, Traveler, minus 60,000, and then hit enter. Now, if you hover over the family again, in the Families tab, you'll see that they now have 0 simoleons. You can now merge this family with an existing household. Ideally, you'll want the least amount of Sims possible. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to be moving the Travelers in with Don Lothario, who lives by himself. With the Traveler family selected, I'm going to click the Lothario house. Would you like to combine the Traveler household with the Lothario household? Yes. Once the households are combined, you'll see that the Travelers now live with Don Lothario. Let's open up the household. Once you've loaded up the household, be sure to pause the game. Now let's move on to step 2. For step 2, you're going to need your Sim Blender. So go into your Buy catalog and get one out. Once you've got your Sim Blender out, make sure that your Future Vacation Tourist is selected. I currently have Trent Traveler selected. Click on the Sim Blender, Relationships, and then choose the household member. For me, this is Don Lothario. Click Set Remove, Remove Have Met. Now you'll see if I go to Trent's relationship panel and I click Household Only, he has his wife and his daughter, but not Don. Now if I switch to Trisha Traveler, you'll see that she still has Don in her relationship panel. So I'm going to repeat that step for my other 2 Sims. The next thing you're going to do with your Sim Blender is have your Future Vacation Tourist selected. I have Trent Traveler selected again. And you're going to click the Sim Blender, and you're going to click Family, Make Me a Townie. And you'll see that Trent is no longer a household member. So now I'm going to make Trisha and Tina also Townies. You'll see now that because I have the game paused, all 3 of my Sims are still here, but Don Lothario is now the only member of the household. So in order to continue, I need to make my 3 Sims, which I've just made into Townies, selectable. Click on the Sim Blender and go to Teleport, Make Selectable, and choose your Vacation Tourists. And now you'll see that the 3 Sims are all listed in the Household panel again. Now I'm going to explain a brief optional step with the Sim Blender. You can use the Sim Blender, the Sim Manipulator, that box, or any other management object to add additional aspects to your Sims. For example, in the Sim Blender, you could go to Skills and you could add skills to your Sims, or you could randomize their skills. This is useful if you've created your Sims in Create a Family and they start with 0 skills, but you don't think that that's very realistic, or you're making Sims based on actual characters. In my case, since I'm playing with Sims that shipped with Sims 2 Bon Voyage expansion pack, I'm not going to add any skills, gender preference, badges, or change their fitness or hobbies. However, I do play with the Sims 3-2 traits, and so what I've gone ahead and done is added specific traits to these Sims so that they're not randomly assigned, since I have an idea for what kind of characters these Sims are and how I want them to behave in my game. These are the types of things that you should do at this step, whether you use the Sim Blender or any other mods. Now let's move on to step 3. For step 3, you're going to need to use testing cheats. Don't be scared, it's not going to break your game. Open up your cheat menu by clicking Ctrl-Shift-C. To turn on testing cheats, type in foolprop space testing cheats enabled true. I'll put this exact cheat code in the description below, and you can copy and paste it into your game. Once you have the cheat code entered, click Enter. Testing cheats is now enabled in your game. Now, you're going to shift-click your sim. So hold down the Shift key on your keyboard and click on your sim, and you'll see the debug menu, or the testing cheats menu. You're going to go to Spawn, and you're going to find the NPC and Townie maker. It looks like the Repo Man's gun. So with your future tourist selected, you'll see the Plum Bob over Trent Traveler. You're going to click on the NPC and Townie maker, and you're going to click Make Me into Vacation Sim, which is going to open up another menu that says Tourist 1 through Tourist 12. Now, we use the term family, but these are really households. The Sims that you add to these families do not need to be related. However, make sure that you have at least one adult or elder Sim in each family prior to adding any children or teenagers. Each family or household will share a hotel room, but these can be roommates, friends, or even single Sims. So I'm going to put the Traveler family into the Tourist 1 household. Once I click that, you'll see that it showed up in his queue right here, Make Me into Vacation Sim Tourist 1. You're going to unpause your game and wait for a pop-up. And then you're going to pause your game again. It's going to say Neighbor Added to Family. Now I'm going to do the same process for Tina and Trisha. Now we're going to go back to using the Sim Blender, and you're going to click Teleport, Make Unselectable, and then your Sim's name. I'm going to do this for Tina, Trisha, and Trent. And now you'll see that my Sims are no longer in the household panel. The last thing we're going to do with the Sim Blender is we're going to go back to the Teleport menu, clear off all non-residents, and your Sims will disappear. For good measure, unpause the game for 2 to 3 Sim minutes to make sure that everything finished processing. Then, save your game. At this point, to get the NPC and Townie maker off your lot, you can simply sell it along with the Sim Blender. You can also turn off testing cheats by going to Ctrl-Shift-C and typing in foolprop space testing cheats enabled false. I'll put that cheat code in the description box below for you to copy and paste as well. And that's it. That's all it takes to make custom vacation tourists. These Sims will check into your hotels after your playable Sims in all of your vacation subhoods. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you'd like to see more videos like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you back here for another video very soon.